Welcome back to the Saints 2025 Draft Recap Show alongside Ross Jackson. Erin Summers here. Going into day 3, what is the Saints' usual strategy?
Oh, that's a great question. I think for the most part, you're looking at people that are going to be able to make your roster through the course of special teams. Guys that are going to be able to contribute from maybe multiple areas. You're looking for versatility. In day 3, really what you're trying to do is give these players as many opportunities to make your roster as possible and find players that might be able to be maybe sleeper contributors to you. Good news, this was a pretty deep draft for them to find those players.
Well, in that first pick that they had, it was 112 overall, 4th round, Oklahoma's linebacker, Danny Stutsman. A linebacker fits somebody who will be useful on special teams as well.
Absolutely. We see the Saints with guys like Nephi Sewell, Anthony Orji, DeMarco Jackson, like all these players that have made their roster through those lenses. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to Danny Stutsman, I call him the Floridian Bobby Boucher. Like, he just kind of has this energy about him all the time on the field, where he's just looking forward to hitting somebody. And I think that the energy, the vocalization that he brings to this team, as well as just, again, another one of those heat-seeking missiles, solid tackler, great in run defense. He's got some improvements to make in coverage, but I think he contributes on the defensive side just as well.
He was an All-American, somebody who was very fired up when he got his draft call, speaking of the energy, and he's definitely going to bring that to the linebacker room and special teams. Sometimes you need a little crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always very helpful. Play with your hair on fire. And look, he's fiscally responsible too. Bought 11 draft hats, and he plans to bring back the ones that he didn't use. Excellent, excellent fiscal responsibility.
He is also a Canes ambassador, which we like around here as well. Here is Stutsman on getting drafted.
Man, I'm pumped, man. I mean, there's no better team. I think, a lot of little anxious, going up into it, but I'm excited, man. I'm just. Add value to my name and just keep better, keep getting better, man. I'm just a lot of emotion right now in this moment.
The next pick for the Saints, they go back to Louisville for cornerback Quincy Riley, another teammate that will enter here. Of course, he spoke very highly of quarterback Tyler Shuck. Yeah. And they're not on the same side of the ball.
No, he called him the best quarterback in the draft, mentioned him having to go against him. Also mentioned picking him off a couple of times, though, in practice. So he wanted to make sure he got his in that situation, too.
You look at what he was able to do last year, 9th in the nation with 15 pass breakups, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 interceptions, although they weren't of.
They were not Shucks, right?
During play, obviously. But very productive. And in a defense that's going to be extremely versatile with their backs, how does he fit in?
I think he's somebody that could potentially be a starting outside corner for you or could compete on the inside. I asked him if he felt comfortable playing inside or outside, being that boundary corner or playing in the slot, and he immediately said he loves playing on the inside. And even though he might not end up doing that, the reason why, I think, is music to any coach's ear in the NFL. He said that the reason why he likes playing on the inside is because 90% of the time he gets to affect the play. He gets to be involved, whether it's a tackle, whether it's a pass breakup, whether it's the interception, or just rerouting a wide receiver. He loves the idea of being involved in a football play. And I think that's something that's music to every coach's ear. That kind of attitude over on the outside is something that would make him really elevate sort of his competitive mentality that you see, and the ball hawking ability, 15 interceptions over the course of his career.
Let's hear from Riley on what he brings.
Man, it's a blessing. Like, you don't understand how much I just changed my life. For one, just not for music, for my family. Like, it was a long wait, but I'm happy to be a Saint now, so I just bring a guy that's gonna get the ball back for one, but also a guy of leadership and knows football and that's real passionate about the game. So like y'all gonna get somebody that's full go and all of that just love the game. So y'all gonna be happy to be around me. My teammates gonna love me, and just another guy on defense to help push the team to win more.
In the 6th round, it was running back Devin Neal out of Kansas. He became Kansas's all-time leader in rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, and 100-yard games. Extremely productive. And speaking to some of the people that worked for the football office there in Kansas, they said they absolutely loved Neal, that he was a much better person off the field than he was on, and we are going to love working with him, which I love to hear that.
Love hearing that.
But on the field, what can we look forward to?
Oh my goodness. Look, I got 2 favorite numbers when it comes to Devin Neal, the first of which is 49. He played in 49 games. He scored 49 rushing touchdowns. That's a touchdown per game, and he never missed a game due to injury. And that's really surprising for a running back of all the positions. My other favorite number around him is 3.73. Don't worry, you don't have to to remember that number. But what it basically is 3.73 yards after contact per carry, meaning that he rarely went down the first time that somebody touched him. The last time that a Saints running back with more than 50 carries in a season did that was Mark Ingram back in 2021, his return season. So a guy like Devin Neal clearly adds a good, solid complement to Alvin Kamara in that backfield.
He had 3 straight 1,000 yards plus seasons. The productivity is there, and also being able to play every game helps.
Yes, I think he's one of the steals of the draft, I'll tell you that right now.
I love that. We definitely cannot wait to get him here. Here is Neal on Joining the Saints.
It's a dream come true, and spending the time with my fam and my friends here, all in my house in Lawrence. You know, it's special. It's a special day, and I'm just super excited to play for this great organization and just have the opportunity and the blessings that God has given me to play this game for a little longer.
Final round of the draft, the 7th round, the Saints had 2 picks. They started off with the UCLA tight end Moliki Matavao, somebody that the Saints needed to go get because they wanted to fill some depth in their tight end room. And how does this player fit for the Saints?
Yeah, I think the big thing that he gives you immediately is a very experienced blocker. And I know it's kind of like the offensive line thing where it doesn't sound like the most exciting thing, but look, most of the time, the biggest challenge for collegiate tight ends transitioning from the college game to the pros game is learning protections. And so he spent several years learning all of those protections already, and then became more of a receiving threat, bringing in over 500 receiving yards last year in 2024. So maybe you'll get the opportunity, if you're the New Orleans Saints, to develop him further as a passer, but he could show up already ready to help you blocking for your run game.
Well, he did lead UCLA in receptions and receiving yards last year, which sounds eerily familiar because of Juwan Johnson doing the same for us last season. And I just need to clarify, is he 6'8" or is he 6'5"? Because I've seen it listed several ways. Either way, he's big.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Let's call it 6'6". He's somewhere in between, right? And at 260 pounds, like, he's a guy that's going to be a physical presence. He might not be somebody that has a year 1 impact, but during his rookie contract, I'm really interested to watch his development.
Then you go Syracuse edge rusher Fadil Diggs. You mentioned him at the top of the show. You're smiling already.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite 7th round draft picks that I think I've seen. He's somebody I'm really excited to watch during training camp. Just to have that sort of 6'4", 250 plus pounds stand-up edge rusher. It just fits so well in Brandon Staley's scheme. You look back to the way that Staley was able to use a guy like Leonard Floyd both in Chicago as well as in Los Angeles with the Rams, and you can kind of see what the vision could be for a guy like Fadil Diggs, who went from playing at SEC level to playing at the ACC level. He's somebody that's got that experience, and I'm really interested to see what they're going to be able to get out of him during his rookie contract. Again, he needs some development and things like that. 7th round draft picks you want to be cautious about, but I'm really interested to see what they can get out of him.
Your graduate transfer out of Texas A&M, but last year he had 7.5 sacks. And again, selected a team captain. So you know that he's going to come in here, right character build, and somebody who definitely was effective on the field this last season. Well, that wraps up day 3, but that is not all that took place over the weekend. So we're going to fill you in on some of these undrafted free agents the Saints were able to go get after this one.